In Ableton, we have warp markers, which is pretty much the same thing as flex markers, and they're in every piece of audio. Okay, so to access warp markers, it's in this section here. So you just double click a clip and you get what's happening in the clip here. Now you can zoom in by just dragging and you can get just that point of the clip. If you want to change the zoom inside, you can do it here. You can also use the key command and move the mouse, and that will do your horizontal zoom. For this rhythm here, this musical rhythm, I want eighth notes. So I would create a warp marker by, you can see these little triangles over here. Those are kind of like the lines in Logic. They're just like warp marker possibility lines. I'm going to create one there and I need it to be on the grid. I'm doing eighth notes here. So one would be right there and one would be in the halfway point over there. This would be here. This is the right position. So I'll just stretch this out there. And then I think this one's got to be here. So let's just solo this. I press S, key command. That extra note is a little delay on the trumpet. So that's how you create it. If you want to create it off the melodic component, you can click here and you just double click and it will create a warp marker wherever you want it created. So if I wanted one here, I want to keep the audio there and keep it stretched out. So that's kind of just stretching the audio. Right, so that's possible. You can also do quantize. If you right click, you have the option here. It says quantize and that's Command U. So if I press quantize, it's going to quantize to the quantize setting. So this is Command Shift U. So let's use the key command Command Shift U and we can see what the quantize settings are. So let's say I wanted quarter notes and I wanted a full quantize. It will put notes that make sense on quarter notes. And let's go back, let's have a look. Let's try eighth notes. So if I do that, it creates eighth notes for me. So it creates eighth note warp markers for me and it puts whatever's sensible next to it. So if I want to delete the warp markers, I just highlight, press delete. There's an extra warp marker here. I'm just going to delete that. And you can't create any warp markers behind if I double click here. So this is the last line, the start of the audio. This line indicates it's the start of the audio. I won't be able to create any warp markers outside of that position. So let's try to get these two bits in time. So that's there. If I go to this guy, I'll put him on the line there in the middle and over here. Let's have a listen to that. Turn my solo off. So that's how you access warp markers, which is very similar to flex markers in Logic. See you in the next lesson.